how to transition to a career in cybersecurity without a tech background. And we are starting right away. So good evening, everybody. Finally, we are here. You're welcome to tonight's session. And I will be drawing the small agenda for the session tonight so that we have a sense of direction. I want you to invite your friends and your loved ones to tonight's session because the information we are sharing tonight has changed a lot of lives and will continue to change a lot of lives. So please invite your friends and your loved ones. Don't just watch this alone. This will be very, very transformational. This will be a transformational session. So how to transition to tech, cybersecurity without a tech background. How to break into cybersecurity without a tech background. All right, so what's the agenda? Number one, introduction to the founder, digital consulting, and that's my humble self. Then number two, profile of digital consulting. Who are we? What's our profile? Number three, why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? Number four, what exactly is cybersecurity? Number five, how to break into cybersecurity. Number six, next steps. I love to call this the digital way. And number seven, question and answer. So tonight we'll be having at least 4 of our students who have broken through. That's not all of them, but we can only take 4 or 5 of them tonight. And we'll also be having our career coach, Nelson, to discuss with us about cybersecurity. So tonight's session, it's going to be very, very packed. And I want you to listen because this is the same information that we've shared in the past to people who are currently working in cybersecurity as cybersecurity professionals. So it's not hard to transition to cybersecurity if you have the required knowledge and insights. It boils down to knowledge. So without wasting much time, introduction to the founder of Digital Consulting. I'm Omi Aleyomi. I'm the founder of Digital Consulting. I'm a tech trainer, I'm a pastor, and I'm a real estate developer. But for tonight, I'm here to teach us on how to break into tech as cybersecurity professionals. And that's what we'll be doing right away. So I'll be sharing a few things about myself to you. I will share my profile. Who am I? And why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So let's start. Who am I? So like many of you, I didn't start out in tech. I also transitioned to tech. As a matter of fact, before I got into tech and cybersecurity, I used to work at a multinational Big Four tax and auditing firm. And I worked there as a tax accountant. Then in 2018, I got a job in the oil and gas industry. I got a job with the largest indigenously owned Nigerian oil exploration and production company. And I was there for 18 months and I resigned. Why did I resign? Because by 2019, I had discovered the opportunity in tech. And for me, there was no going back. There was just no going back. Like I said earlier, I'm a pastor. I pastor Household of King's Church of Jodubega, Lagos. So this is me. Married. This is my lovely wife. These are very old pictures. I love to travel. This was at the start of the church, the very early days of the church. I always like to share these pictures, right? So I will share a few pictures too. We'll share a few pictures about me, introduction to the founder, digital consulting. And I'll share my Instagram page. So why did I my high-paying oil and gas job? I was paid in dollars, allowances in dollars. I was doing well, was because by October 2019, from my side also, as a tech professional, I was already doing double my salary from my side also. So I just reasoned that there's no point. Let me go in all the way. So I went in all the way. Then from there, I started to teach people what I was doing. So that has been the journey so far. That has been the journey so far. So I would share my picture. So this is me right here, right here. I mean, right here, 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 right here. Okay, right here. This was at the real estate developers conference. This was a tech program. I think after COVID. It was after COVID. Okay, so that's that for that. That's that for that. So I have an Instagram page for those who want to check me out on Instagram. I have an Instagram page. So let's go to Instagram to check me out on Instagram. Check me out on Instagram. So I'm on Instagram. Oh. Okay. Okay, so let's just move. So that's that about me. Back to our slide. The next thing is about digital consulting, profile of digital consulting. So who are we? Started with who am I? Then the next thing is who are we? Who am I? Who are we? Who am I? Who are we? So we're done with myself. Profile of digital consulting. Who are we? Now, digital consulting started in 2020, just before COVID, and we've been around for 6 years, empowering Africans and non-Africans and equipping them with the cognizant tech skills to help them to transition to tech. And in 6 years of doing this, we have trained thousands of Africans and non-Africans, and we've helped thousands to actually transition to tech, get their first tech job, their first tech gig, or set up tech-enabled business. And we currently operate in 3 continents, Africa, which is Nigeria, Europe, United Kingdom, then North America, which is the United States and Canada, United Kingdom and Europe, then Nigeria mainly. So tonight's class is specifically for students in the United Kingdom. Right. So now, don't just take my word for it, because we have thousands of students in the UK. But every time we are enrolling a program like this, we have people reaching out to our team. And they say things like, oh, you know, sir, I really liked the webinar. I like the people that came for the webinar, how they spoke. You know, they were really sound. They spoke well. But I've attended trainings before. I know somebody that attended a training before at an institute, at an organization. And, you know, it was all promises, all talk, and no proof. I hope digital will not be like this. I hope I will not have the same bad experience with digital. And I tell them this. You don't expect me to say you will have a bad experience with digital, do you? Right? So what I always tell them is, do your research. Do your research. Before you register for any program with any institute, these are the things I expect you to do. These are the things you should do. Do your research. And I will be showing you what you need to do before you part away with your money. So number one, go to Google. Go to Google and check out their reviews. If they've been around, if they've been doing a great job, they will surely have reviews. They will have people that have to say things about them. So we start from Digital Consulting reviews on Google. Digital Consulting reviews on Google. So here we are. Digital Consulting reviews. And here we are on Google. So we have the review. So you can see you say Digital Consulting, and there are lots of stuff here, but this is where we are going to just go here, reviews, right? And right here, at times this takes some time. Okay, but you can see a lot of reviews. So take your time to go through all these reviews. These are reviews from students that have gone through digital, that have gone through our organization. Now that is the first step, but that's not the only step. The second step is very important, and that is LinkedIn. LinkedIn. So check them out on LinkedIn. So how do we do that? Just hold on. We're about to go to LinkedIn. About to go to LinkedIn. Check them out on LinkedIn. Check them out on LinkedIn. So we're right. Going. Check that organization out on LinkedIn. Don't just take their word for it. See what their students have to say about them. See what their students have to say about them. So here we go. Digital Consulting, LinkedIn. We'll move there. Yes, we are. Okay. So now you search for Digital Consulting. Digital Consulting. And when you search, then you check for posts. You might not even need to do that, but you might need to do that. So when you click on post, what happens? You see a lot of our students showing what they've learned. You can see Aunaya, you can see Ogaga, Ogbimini, you can see real people. This is an announcement. So you can see all this great stuff, Peace, Anene, Chigozie Omena, Chibuka Daniel, Dilip Solani. So this is very, very important. This shows you an organization that has been around for a very long time. I've been doing amazing things, and we have students who are proud to tell people about us. So this is going to take a lot of time, but you need to do this search. Then the other thing is you can check us out on Instagram. So just go to Instagram and search for Digital Consulting on Instagram. And when you search for Digital Consulting on Instagram, you get to find out more about us. I think I'll just I'll go to Instagram and I'll show you Digital Consulting on Instagram. So this is Digital Consulting on Instagram. Just search Digital Consulting and you see all this information about us, what we have done, what we have achieved, our student testimonial, the profile of our tutors, on and on and on and on and on. Right. So just Digital Consulting on Instagram. Now that's good. So we have done profile of Digital Consulting. The next thing is why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? At this point, I will share a slide with us. I'll share a slide with us. Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? If you are following me, can I see your hand? If you are following what I'm saying, can I see your hands? Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? Very good. So I'll open my next slide. I'm opening my next slide. Why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? There we go. Here we go. Okay, good. Go. We move. Okay, now. So, transition into tech, blah, blah, blah. Now, why tech? Why switch to a career in tech? IT opportunities are abundant. IT opportunities are abundant, right? And for those of you in the United Kingdom, the opportunities are there for you. You just have to be knowledgeable and informed to take advantage of this opportunity. So we have people in Nigeria who are working for companies in the United Kingdom, in the United States, in Canada, working remotely, in tech, in cybersecurity, and other tech disciplines, working remotely. And I mean, they are residents in Nigeria, but they are working for companies in the United Kingdom, in Canada, and in the US, some in Australia. So how much more you are actually located in the United Kingdom? So how are they able to get this job? Because IT opportunities are abundant and the laborers are few. So in tech, there's potential for remote jobs, flexible job schedules, freelancing, and a shortcut into making CGD income. No IT background needed. No IT background needed. You heard me right. So if you are transitioning into tech, don't have this fear, oh, you know, I don't have an IT background. I don't have an IT background. Stop all that. No IT background needed. No university degree needed. No IT background needed, university degree needed. More than 26% of IT workers don't hold a degree. More than 26% don't hold a degree, right? So understand that almost 49% of job postings in 2017 did not list a degree as a minimum requirement for candidates. No age constraint. You can start at any time. And every time I talk about this, I cannot but talk about Bookie Wright. She's an actress. She left acting for some time, went into cybersecurity, and she's back into acting while she still keeps her cybersecurity job. Let's check out Bookie Wright, and this will bust your bubble. For those of you who think, oh, it is hard, tech is hard, it's for people who are young people. Well, I'm about to bust your bubble. I'm about to bust your bubble. So I will show you right now. Your bubble is about to be busted. Your bubble is about to be busted. Bookie Wright transition to tech. Bookie Wright transition to tech. So let's move. Bookie Wright transition to tech. Here we are. Now, here we have it. So at the age of 45 or 44, 44, he transitioned into tech at 44. He currently works as a senior IT auditor in the US. So up till the age of 44, Bookie Wright was an actress, acting in movies. At 44, she transitioned into tech via cybersecurity. So age is not a limitation. Age is not a limitation. Get that settled. It's all about, so tech is not just for people in their 20s or their 30s. If you're in your 40s, it is not too late. Even if you're in your 50s, it is not too late. Now back to my slide. So no age constraint. There is no age constraint. Okay, no. There's no age constraint. I need to stop share. Back to my slide. Okay, fine. Now, why tech? Why break into tech? Why cybersecurity? Remote jobs, fact or fiction? We're going to check LinkedIn. We'll check LinkedIn. So remote jobs, are they fact or fiction? Well, let's find out. Let's get to LinkedIn and see, do we really have jobs? Are there jobs in cybersecurity? Or is it just hot talk? So follow me, cybersecurity. Cybersecurity jobs. Let's go. Cybersecurity jobs. Remove. Okay, now in, and right there, I'm going to go to jobs. I'll go to jobs. Right. I'll go to jobs, and when we get to jobs, it'll be cybersecurity. So now, United Kingdom, the United Kingdom. Okay, so now let's go to the last 1 week. The last one we just posted in the past week. Don't want to just go to, so let's look at the last 1 week. So in the last 1 week, almost 4,000 jobs were posted in cybersecurity in the United Kingdom. The last 1 week. So just imagine the number of job vacancies that are posted annually in cybersecurity in the United Kingdom. Just think about it. Just take time and think about it. Right now, I'm going to get more specific. Rather than just posting cybersecurity, I'll be more granular. So I'm going to do something like GRC analyst. That's governance, risk, and compliance. So I'm getting more specific. Or I could do data protection officer. Data protection officer. Data protection officer. Right. So we can see here data protection. Let me just do data protection in the United Kingdom. Let's do data protection. 2,000. So there are just a lot of jobs. I could do threat hunter. Now, there's something I also want to say here, that when you search for these jobs, some of you might get scared because you see some of these jobs asking for 3 years work experience, 4 years work experience. Don't let that bother you, right? Don't let that bother you. Once you have a portfolio of projects, it is equal to 3 to 4 to 5 years of experience. So that experience is subjective. If you have projects, you have a portfolio of projects, you've done an internship, you are good to go. So just settle that in your mind, that don't be scared when they start asking for all this experience thing. Your portfolio of projects will suffice. It will suffice for this, right? So back to our slide. Now, what exactly is cybersecurity? What exactly is cybersecurity? What exactly is cybersecurity? So we've done why tech, why break into tech, okay, why cybersecurity? Okay, before we go into what exactly is cybersecurity, why cybersecurity? Why not data analysis? Why not Microsoft 365? Why not business analysis? Why not data science? And all these career paths are also wonderful paths, but there's something special about cybersecurity. There's something special about cybersecurity, something very special about cybersecurity, right? So let's find out why cybersecurity. So just hold it there. I will share with you another slide. Why cybersecurity? Another slide. Why cybersecurity? Why cybersecurity? Are we good to go? Yes, we are good to go. Ready? Go. Now, this is why cybersecurity is the job of the present and the job of the future. And this is why you mustn't joke with cybersecurity. You mustn't joke with it. Now, let's look at it. Rise of cyber attacks. In 2018, it was 860 billion. 860 billion in 2018. By 2019, it had risen to 1.16 billion, right? 1.16 billion by 2019. By 2020, 2.95 billion. So, cut a long story short, it's on the increase. It's on the increase. It's on the increase. It's just rising. It's going higher. It's going higher. So because it is going higher, organizations have to secure themselves. Now, there are two risks when it comes to cybersecurity. There are two risks. First of all, let me say 3 levels of risk to organizations. The first level of risk is what I call statutory risk. And this is where governance, risk, and compliance comes in. Standards and regulations. So there are regulations and standards that governs organizations in the financial sector, in the health sector, in the IT sector, as regards cybersecurity. These are standards that they must comply with, whether they suffer a cyber attack or they don't suffer a cyber attack. If they don't comply with these standards, they will suffer huge fines and penalties, and they will pay a lot of money. So that is where we have standards like the ISO 27001 standard, the SOC standards, the data protection standards, the information security standards, the EPA standards. So there are many standards. So there is the statutory risk. The second thing is that there is the operational risk and financial risk. So if an organization is a victim of a cyber attack, there'll be a loss of operations, the business will not be able to operate, and because they cannot operate, they will lose money, and a lot of money. Now, relating to that is the reputational risk. Aside from suffering operational damages, aside from suffering financial losses, they will also suffer reputational risk. And that is why many organizations that have been victims of cyber attacks don't actually come out to announce it. They prefer to fight it, solve it, and keep quiet about it, because if their customers should know, or their vendors should know, or other companies working with them should know that they were attacked or hacked, they don't want to do business with such an organization because they feel that they are not safe either. So there's the reputational risk. So because of these levels of risk, organizations just have to secure themselves. And you have organizations that have 15 staffs, 20 staffs in their cybersecurity unit alone. You see organizations spending a lot of money on softwares, on compliance, on audits, on personnel, on trainings, because cybercrime is on the rise, right? So I think that has been well explained. Back to my slide. If you are following me, can I see your hands? If you are following me, can I see your hands? Can I see your hands? If you are with me, can I see your hands? Okay. Now, the next thing is why cybersecurity. We've sorted out why cybersecurity, because cyber crimes, cyber attacks are on the rise. The next thing is, what exactly is cybersecurity? What exactly is cybersecurity? Now, I will explain this with a picture. I will explain this with a picture, and that will explain this better. What exactly is cybersecurity? Why cybersecurity? What exactly is cybersecurity? So I love this. I love this picture that I always use. A lovely picture, and it explains this well. It gives a very Good explanation on this, and I'm going to share this with us. What exactly is cybersecurity? Now, cybersecurity is a very broad field, as you can see, and what we do in digital is very interesting. So, when you come in, there is a 5-month program. And listen to me, there are many people that just that 5 months program was enough for them to get a job. So at the end of the 5 months program, you already know where you want to specialize in all these fields, because the 5 months program gives you a strong foundation. Then towards the end of the 5 months program, you have specialized. Then after that, there is now an internship, which is like a real work experience that enables you to specialize in any of these fields. Any of these fields. So cybersecurity is a very broad field. Contrary to what many of you might think, cybersecurity is more than hacking, ethical hacking, penetration testing. Because many people just think that everything about cybersecurity is hacking, penetrate. I want to be an hacker. No. Cybersecurity is beyond hacking. Hacking, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment is a vital part of cybersecurity, but it is beyond that. So here are the few. We have application security. We increase this a little. We have application security. You are building applications, they try to secure the applications. So I won't spend so much time on that. We have the cybersecurity architect. They build the architecture. We have the audit. So when you have set up your systems and everything, these auditors come, they come to audit your security architecture. We have cloud. The world is not moving away from the cloud. The world is moving to the cloud. So we have cloud architect, cloud administrator, cloud engineers. That same way, we have cloud security, securing applications in the cloud, securing the cloud. We have compliance, governance, risk, and compliance. So what do they do? Just to ensure that the organization is keeping up with standards and regulations in their sector. We have education. What I'm doing tonight is education. Now, there's a lot of opportunities in education, because statutorily, every organization in all organizations should train their staffs on cybersecurity at least once in 6 months. That is the standard. Once in 6 months. Why? Because the threat you faced 6 months ago is quite different from the threats you'll be faced with today. So statutorily, organizations should train their staffs every 6 months. That's the standard. We have engineering, right? Security engineer. We have the general, we have governance, security, information security officer, data protection. We are still coming to that. Now, we have investigation. So when you see things like forensics, that is under investigation. Cybercrime analyst, cybercrime investigator. So a crime has happened, then we need forensic to show us why the crime happened, what happened, who was responsible, checking trails, checking logs. Now, the thing about this is that they are all related. And that is why I said earlier that our program starts with the foundation of cybersecurity, the foundation. Then towards the end, the students now know where to specialize in. Then the internship helps them to specialize. Our program is a very detailed program. We have the malware analyst, we have the senior malware analyst. Now we have network security engineer. That one is very simple to understand. There's the network. So they secure the network. Application security secures the application. While network security, they secure the network. So they're always concerned about infiltration through the network. We have hacking. It is offensive. Junior pen tester, penetration tester, vulnerability tester. We have operations. You've heard about SOC. SOCs are just like the maintenance guys. See them as security guard. who maintain the security architecture to ensure that something hasn't gone wrong. So they just keep watch of logs, of traffic, of volumes of data, just maintaining. They are just day-to-day housekeeping of the entire security architecture. Then we have data protection. Data protection is a very, very wonderful field, very, very lucrative. We have cybersecurity sales. Some of our students have gotten jobs as cybersecurity sales professionals. Why? Because it takes a cybersecurity professional to sell a cybersecurity product. It takes a cybersecurity professional to sell a cybersecurity product. So there is that field of sales. Sales, very important. Now, cybersecurity it's a technical field. So you can't just give it to anybody to market products. So why is there a rise in demand for cybersecurity sales products? Because many organizations are building products, but they need someone who is knowledgeable in cybersecurity to be able to sell the cybersecurity solutions. Then we have the threat hunter. I call these guys the CIA of cybersecurity. So they don't wait for the threat to emerge. They don't wait for the hackers to hack. They are proactive, very proactive. So what they do is, for instance, if Bank A suffered a cyber attack, the threat hunter in Bank B, in the same industry as Bank A, will investigate how this attack was implemented and launched. What was the loophole? What happened? So that B can be safeguarded from such attacks. So they're like the CIA, the DSS, the KGB of cybersecurity. So these are the respective fields in cybersecurity, but note that the foundation is important and you can always build up from there. So that is very, very important. Very important. Now we are done with that. If you are following me, can I see your hands? If you are following me, can I see your hands? So very soon, Nelson will be joining us. Will be joining us to, Nelson is our internship manager and our career coach at Digital Consulting, and he'll be joining us tonight to share with us more insights about cyber security, more insights on cybersecurity. So how to break into cybersecurity is the next thing on the agenda. How to break into cybersecurity. How do you break into cybersecurity? And listen to me, some of our students will come here tonight and they will share with you their journey into cybersecurity, how their journey started with digital. And without sounding pompous or arrogant, I need to tell you that in digital, we have a system, a proven system to take you from someone without a tech background to someone who is sound in cybersecurity and who is job ready and who is a consultant in cybersecurity. So in digital, we don't just train you to be a professional, to look for jobs. Yeah, we train you for that. But with or without a job, we train you to such an extent that you can be a consultant because you are well grounded. So for us, it is not just about training you and ticking the box and getting the certifications. Certifications are part of it, but that is not our primary objective. Our primary objective is for you to gain mastery. And if you are here tonight, you listen to me, and you really want to break through into cybersecurity, both technical and non-technical, digital is the place because we have a track record. So for me to say how to break into cybersecurity, I say this because we have helped a lot of people, a lot of our students to break through. This evening, one of our students reached out in the UK, reached out. He just got a job and he wanted us to do reference, and I said, no problem, I will sort it out on Monday. So we have a track record, right? And I want to walk you through that track record in the next 5 minutes before Nelson comes on board. So follow me. Number one, our classes are live classes. Our classes are live classes. We don't do pre-recorded classes, no. Our classes are live instructor-led classes. Live classes, instructor-led classes. So that's how the classes are. They are live classes, right? Now that's one. Now the live classes are recorded and the is made available. Live classes are recorded and the replay is made available. So the live classes are recorded. Now follow the digital way. Teaching assistants are available. Teaching assistants are available to help you out if you get stuck at any point with the classes. Now, the classes are project-based, not theoretical. Yeah. Because in cybersecurity, it's not just about certifications. Certifications have their place, but they are not the most important thing. So in digital, we stress more on projects. Now, the next thing about breaking in cybersecurity, follow me, is that our program covers both technical and non-technical aspects of cybersecurity. So you learn the technical side and you learn the GRC side of things. That's the way it works for us. So you learn the technical side, then you learn the non-technical side. And why do we do this? Now, listen to me, and this is very important. There are times that an individual gets a technical job in cybersecurity. That is the opening. And when he gets to the interview, there are other candidates that are as good as this individual. But these candidates are only sound technically. So this individual from Digital is sound technically. The job is for a technical role. But because he's also very good in the non-technical, he has an extra edge. An organization will feel that, okay, it's better we get somebody who is a technical person who also has knowledge in the non-technical areas. So in Digital, we teach you on the two. We teach you on the two, both the technical and the non-technical. Now, the next thing, there are projects. And there are projects that build your confidence. So you have a portfolio of projects. So for people who are suffering from imposter syndrome, this is it. Now, another thing is certifications. But take note, like I said, I rate project, mastery, skill above certifications. But you get certifications. And you don't pay extra for certifications in Digital, right? So certifications have their place. It helps your profile, right? So that being said, at this point, I will bring on Nelson, our career coach at Digital Consulting, and also our internship manager, and he'll be sharing with us tonight about the digital program and the internship program, right? So I'm bringing in right now, bringing him to the program right now. So be joining us, right? So we are waiting for Nelson to join us. Okay, so he's right here with us. He's right here with us, I believe. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's been the day?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, sure. Loud and clear. Good to see you again.
Nice. How you doing? How is
I'm
everybody?
fine. Yeah, very fine. How is work too?
Very well. Very
Yeah.
well.
So Nelson is a very experienced cybersecurity professional with over a decade experience working with multinationals, especially fintechs. And he started his journey many years ago. So, Nelson, at this point, I just want you to introduce yourself to us. You can do a better job at that and share with us your journey. Then we can go into the other aspects of the program. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Yomi. And I want to also thank the digital management team, not just for this program, but also creating that platform for people to learn. Um, I was recently just checking on the impact of educational system, like our traditional educational system, to how important it is for you to get jobs, not just within the Nigeria, African landscape, but I'm looking at the UK before this program. I was trying to do an assessment and I realized that, in fact, even a lot of people that went for master's degree in the UK still need to do some sort of boot camp, to be able to get jobs in the job market. And the question is, why is the master degree or the traditional education? I think it's not just in the UK, but also even in the United States, even after your master's, organizations still want you to know or have some sort of relevant skill. And that was one of the fear for me, at the university. Is my degree
Mm,
enough? Or
mm,
am I learning the right thing? So for
mm,
me, the journey begins at when I was in 200 level. Something actually happened. We had a student that was a Gogo ambassador in my school at the University of Ibadan, and he was not doing very well, with his grade, but he was a Gogo ambassador because he was providing a solution. He was part of those that initiated or that started the idea of Google Map, Google Map in the University of Ibadan. Started part of that project. And he started working with Google even as a student. Then I started asking myself, am I really learning the right thing? Or
mm,
in school, or the things I'm learning, is it enough to get me a job? And that was why I started looking for platform like what Mr. Yomi had provided. But at the time, um, a lot of us that stay in Nigeria, you at the time you'd know that for you to get a training like this, you would see NIT, HIT, this platforms, and the cost is extreme, very much, and we don't have so much of a boot camp that bridge that gap, between help us see people that are working in the real life environment. Come teach us what exactly it
mm,
is required to get job. That was my biggest fear. And I had I had to start looking manually to get for opportunities like that. And I was just lucky enough to see a 2 weeks boot camp on something on networking. I
mm,
knew I wasn't very good with programming, and I wanted to do something in IT, but in school, if you're in computer science, you have to write program. If you're not writing program, there was no need. But I knew that there were other IT. Mr. Yomi was taking us through different career paths, not just, he mentioned something like pre-sales. So it's not just, and that's the mindset a lot of people have. If you're coming to IT, you need to learn programming. It's not true. And for me, it was networking. So when I did networking for 2 weeks, I found it interesting. I just started building that experience in school. And for my IT internship, I made sure that I did it in a company that does networking. And that was how I started learning, real life. And I started answering those questions. And my 6 month internship was different from what I was learning. So I knew that, yes, I need to actually look for boot camps, look for organization to do like a virtual internship. And so bringing it back to the question, how did I start my journey? That out of curiosity, out of the fear that if I'm done with school, am I going to have, am I job ready? And that's the question I'm asking
Mm,
everyone, wherever you are right now, or if you're transitioning from a different career path, what is the required skill to get job? And that's what Agita is
mm,
here. That's what the program is all about. We can show you and help you, guide you through those
mm,
required skill to get a job, you know, and we have
mm,
those evidence. So for me, that was the journey. But it was long because I was doing self-study. So if I'd had Digital at the time, I think that it would have been easier for me to learn because
mm,
I would have subscribed to programs like this, get to
mm,
learn the required job skill set. So I I I learned networking, did CCNA. Then in the course of learning networking, I realized that networking is not enough. You need to know cybersecurity. You need to secure the network. I've had opportunity working in an organization as a network engineer, but I realized that there's also a need to secure. So I started my interest in cybersecurity, and I had the opportunity to now work as a security consultant. I've done that for over 3 years in Nigeria here. Then I started working. I had a remote opportunity in Netherlands, what was a contract role, and also in the US to as a
mm,
consultant, security consultant. Then I also
mm,
moved into the fintech. So for me, the journey is not just working in a particular sector. I have a goal to work in different sector and to become a consultant, to be able to provide end-to-end solution when it comes to cybersecurity. So currently working with MoneyPoint and leading the security operation unit from our UK head office down to all of our branches here in Africa. So that's a bit about
mm.
myself.
Yeah. So that's good to know. So at this point, I will make you the host.
Okay.
I believe you are ready so that you can share with us the digital program and what really happens in the internship
Mhm.
program. Then we could also go into other questions, but let's start with how the program runs and how the internship runs so that they have a better idea of what makes our program different.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you can see my screen, please. Okay, can you see my screen, please?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, yeah, it's coming up now.
All right.
Yeah. Hmm. I can see it.
All
Okay.
right. Good. Okay, so I'll be moving in between slides because so that I'll just go straight to the, how our program is going to help, especially for our students in the UK. Now, but before I go into our strategy for our internship, I want to show you the problem statement. So one of the biggest challenges when it comes to cybersecurity is that why it is very good and mandatory to take a bootcamp program, right? It is uh, it is important to have some relevant practical experience, job experience. And the reason is because a lot of business don't want to teach you from scratch. They want you to hit the ground running. Employer security jobs are hotcakes, and they know that once you are taught, um, you have a 1 year experience, there's a high chance that you might likely leave that opportunity because other business would employers would want to take you for a higher pay. So it's been a while. this has been a very big issue where businesses don't want to do like a graduate training, train you from scratch. They want you to come ready. And that's one of the
Mm.
biggest issues what the boot camps that we have today are solving. But at Agital, we started
Yeah.
with 6 months training of the boot
Mm.
camp. We go through learning the fundamental concepts, networking, operating system, that will take you through what's it called? Cybersecurity concepts. I'm going to show you just a
Mm.
bit of the things that Digital has. I'm going to show you a high level of our curriculum. So if you see my screen, during the
Yeah.
first 6 months, you'll see that you would learn two pillars: operating system, how to set up a virtual machine, how to install security solution on Windows, Linux. So you learn how to troubleshoot basic things like the troubleshoot basic stuff on the operating system when you have issues, right? Then networking, which is the second pillar of cybersecurity. So you are learning OSI layer model, you are learning those protocols, the types of networking, because these are very foundational when it comes to cybersecurity. Then also you learn the other concept, foundational concept of cybersecurity. That's why during our 6 month program, we would encourage you to do certifications like this, certifying cybersecurity, CompTIA security. Those are foundational training. Then what's it called? Cisco Net. You have to do some certification. You would realize that those certification also are around these basic concepts: cryptography, types of attack, incident response. That's what we do. Now, after the 6 months, I'm going back to my slide. We know that those are fundamental concepts, right? Now, one of the major things that we are now doing for our internship program is to say, once you're done with that 6 months, we go into another 6 months of hands-on learning. And this is our strategy. For the 6 months of hands-on learning, we would be doing a lot of home labs based on relevant security tools that organizations are using today. I'll give you an example. Um, I've seen boot camps that will say, during the program, you will learn Nmap, you would learn certain like I'm trying to remember some tool. Um, some tools that you can use, like John the Reaper, to crack password. But in
Mm.
reality, you wouldn't see some of
Mm.
these tools in the job market. What you would see is vulnerability
Yes.
assessment tools, patch management tools. You would see endpoints and endpoint detection and response tools. You would see tools on WAF, web application firewall, right? You would see a lot of these tools. Right. And I'm going to show you that's the problem statement. Let me just give you an example on the high level, what you would see in the reward, what employers want you to know. That's what you're seeing on my screen. So how is Agita trying to help us gather some of these skills? Because once you submit your CV, wherever you are in the world for an entry level job, we are going to check if you have relevant skill across this enterprise security architecture. So you can see from here, I'm looking at, do you have relevant skill on application security? Do you have relevant skill on antivirus patching? Do you have relevant skill on continuous security monitoring? Network segmentation. Do you know how to protect the cloud? Do you know threat detection? And that's what I'm looking. Governance for GRC. Policy, can you create a policy document? Can you conduct an assessment based on ISO standard? In the UK, we have what we call cyber essentials. Can you do that? Now, in at Agital, we look at what the job market has and is looking for. Then we use it to create
Mm.
a curriculum for our
Yeah.
program. Now, just a high level to that, based on what Mr. Yomi had asked. Um, Sorry, that's why I said I'll be moving in between slides so that it's easier. So you can
Mm.
see this on high level. In fact, we have updated this. This is on high level. You can see that from here we have from enterprise security architecture, you need to, because you can't secure what you don't know. We are going to show you how to design an architecture, asset management. You can't start talking about security when you don't have an idea of how many assets is in your environment, what you're protecting. Then you
mm,
have EDR, endpoint detection and response. You have patch management, we have endpoint security, we have mobile application security, we have GRC, database
mm,
monitoring. So these are programs. Then you see threat intelligence. We also take you through
mm,
SOP, even for organizations that deals on mobile application. Do you know how to assess mobile applications? You can see, and
mm,
SIM, right? When Mr. Yomi was
mm,
talking, I was looking at some entering level job, associate level jobs in the UK. You would see
mm,
SIM, you see knowledge of SIM, stuff on Splunk, Azure, how to deal with
mm,
incident response. These are DLP, data loss prevention. These are today's issue. So when you are
mm,
employed in any organization, you need to be able to solve this problem. And now you are there asking, how can I solve the problem when I don't have a job? That's what the internship is there for. Because
mm,
if we can walk you through a lot of solutions that can do this, then you have that confidence, because a lot of these solutions have the same templates, the same process, methodology. It's just different concepts. So when you know how to use, for example, a Cloudflare WAF, you know how to use it any other WAF, because it's the same technology. So
mm,
this is our strategy. We look at the job market, we look at the job market, we look at solutions that organizations are using today, like relevant in the world, and we see how we can teach those solutions, do a lot of projects on those solutions. Now, to also show you in our current cohort, this is just so this is our I don't know if you can see my
Yeah,
screen.
I can see your screen. Yeah, and I'm
Okay, good.
actually interested in this project, right? Because it shows them how the internship works,
Yeah,
right?
good.
And yeah, so
Good. So you can see that we started working on projects, right? This is where we
mm,
are. These are the things we started doing, and we are looking at other solutions. So in our first cohort, these are all the projects that we did. You can see student submissions. So you can see a lot of
mm,
student submissions that were part of our project, and what they did. We give, and we once you submit a project, we do a review and we're able to give you feedback. And part of the thing is not just giving you a project to do. I want to share this briefly. When you do a project during our program, you will come and do a presentation, and I would ask you relevant questions that you'd likely see in during the interview session. So we want to be able to know that you are not capable of doing the project alone, but you can defend it, you can talk about it. A lot of people know how to do stuff, but they cannot communicate. So part of what we are looking at is the communication skill, presentation skill, of this project. I don't know if to show a sample, but these are how we will go through the program, right?
mm.
From week in, week out. That's it. I don't know if there's any other question, Mr. Yomi, but these are the flow, and that's how our strategy.
Okay.
Look at the job market, we look
Mm,
at the need, we
mm,
update. In fact, the curriculum we use for cohort one, we have updated. There are some tools that we are using. For example, in cohort one, we didn't use a lot of qualis, but now we are involving qualis, and we are looking at cloud security tools, right? So,
mm,
so that to look at areas where we can solve problem in the real
mm,
world. Yeah.
mm. Okay, so my next question will be that if you can just run us through one of the projects, right,
Okay.
briefly, then we can go into other things. I have other questions, but so that they have an idea
Okay.
of what really happens in this internship program. Yeah, I
Okay.
think there was a time you shared one like that with me, but
All
if you
right.
can gain access to it, let's just go through that project.
Okay. So this is okay. Let me show you a project that was done recently. So it won't So this is a project that was done recently by a student. Let me know if you can see my
Yeah,
screen.
it's loading. Yeah, assignment security assets.
All right.
I've seen it. It's open.
All
Yeah.
right. So you see the mindset. I like what my students will always do. They put that they are this is consulting firm, and what we
Mm,
usually do. I Okay, so this particular project, the assignment, I was looking for the what's it called, the documents we shared for the assignment. The assignment was, for example, you are employed as a cybersecurity consultant, and
mm,
you are told to deploy an asset inventory management solution for the company. It's a startup. They don't have, a standard security program. That's why they employed you. Now they want you to work on deploying an asset inventory that manages application and laptops, all sort of assets, across the organization. The reason why this is important is that even if you look at the NIST framework, asset management is the first thing before you start looking at solution. Now, take a look at this guy, his slide. This was submitted just this
mm,
past week. You can see that we gave the assignment on three tools, softwares. The first one is discovering assets in the environment. Look at what he used to discover the assets. It would show you this person did a presentation of how he did it. He scans his whole entire network, identify all the assets. Then he also deploy a network discovery tool that will scan operational technology, IT, anything that has an IP address across from printout to anything. So he did those assessment. You can see you can even scan for cloud-based asset. Then
yeah.
he was able to do a presentation on how many systems did he find in that organization, and not just how many systems, which of them were servers, which of them were Mac, which of them were printers, routers. Then, in fact, we were able to identify how many of those systems were end of life, vulnerable systems, so that we can patch them. That's where security starts from. You can see details. Look at this is a vulnerability. Um, what's it called? There's a vulnerability um, page of the
Yeah.
solution showing critical vulnerability across the enterprise. These are the things
Mm,
that organization want to see. Can you help us identify these things? So we are able to see active vulnerability, then end of life, but I'm just running through. Then one of the other things we looked at is database. Can you say this is also a database? The same project, but three solving three problem. One of them is identifying active system. No, the second one is assets management. The last one is database scanners. In
mm,
today's world, I'll be honest with you, very few organizations can tell you this is the number of database they have in our organization that is managed and that is up to date. This problem solving, it helps you to look at, identify all the database in your organization. You can see this guy was able to scan for all the database, and he was able to see
mm,
that the database were vulnerable. They were
mm,
not patched. So this is a compliance issue. So
yeah.
and you can also see the list of tables. You can see he was able to identify tables in that system so that he will be able to identify if there's a rogue database in the organization. So this is what we
Mm,
call database, assessment, scanning to know how many actively running database we have. What kind of database management system are they running, and are they up to date? You can see this is running MySQL, the version, and
mm,
you will see which license, is there a credential attached to it, what operating system is hosting. So just this slide, there's a lot of projects. Like in our last course, we did projects on WAF using Cloudflare. We did projects for mobile application security. An
mm,
organization is building a mobile app, either APK or ISO. Can you assess? That's what we call application security. So we look at solutions. We try to solve problem that organizations are facing today. So I
mm,
don't know if this is enough, or you want me to
yeah.
show a
Yeah.
different one.
Okay. So the second question I want to ask is when people see all these things, there's this fear that, oh, it seems this thing, there's programming inside, though, because they are looking at some things are looking like code, like
Mhm.
scripts there. So I just want you to explain to people if they have to be programmers before they can do cybersecurity.
No.
So please, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Again,
Yeah.
you don't have to. I don't know if you remember when I was saying talking that for me too, I had challenges with programming. I knew I wasn't going to be like a programmer because one thing about IT is that it's something when you have interest in it,
Mm,
and for programming, it's something that you have to consistently do. That is a major fear. Oh, I don't know programming. But in cybersecurity, the two important thing you need to know, like I said earlier, is have an understanding of operating system, have an understanding of networking, which our 6-month program will take you through, right?
mm,
Programming like Python, JavaScript, trust me, you don't need those. It's not mandatory. Now,
mm,
if you ask me why is it not mandatory, because a lot of those solutions you are using are
mm,
already you can't develop, it takes a lot of effort to develop your own cybersecurity solution. Do you know what it means to develop it and you start using it? And it has to be licensed. So most organizations will purchase security tools and use within their environment. Most of the
mm,
organization will do that. The only part where programming comes in is that if you want to automate some tasks, right? I'll
mm,
give you an example of in my organization today what some team use programming to do. So we have a pen test team, right? And every week they want to be able to see if there are new domains or public IP address, or they want to see what an attacker could see from an external point of view. So they have a tool that conducts an external scan on our domains. They schedule it. You can write a code to schedule that scan to run every weekend. That's a schedule, right? Assessment. But this same feature, you would see it in a lot of tools. You can schedule an application scan. So most of these tools that you're going to buy or use already have these automated features, right? Except as an application security analyst. So if your role requires you scanning code, source
mm,
code, there's a
mm.
need for you to now know what that code is doing, but you're not the one writing the code.
Writing the
Now,
code.
so
Mm,
you get my point. So you are using a
yeah.
tool, let me say Qualys, that like or Nexus. You scan the source code, you saw there's a JavaScript vulnerability. Your job is
Mm,
to look at, understand, okay, this JavaScript vulnerability, is it a critical, high rated vulnerability? What is the
mm,
impact? What is the likelihood that this vulnerability could be exploited? You look
mm,
at the recommendation. Then when you check the recommendation, you submit the reports to the DevOps team. The DevOps team will have a session with you. Okay, this is what we can do to fix it. Is this something we can fix now or not? So your job is to identify, assess, and report these
mm.
vulnerabilities. And it is also good. Thank God for AI tools. So if there's a need for you to understand
Mm.
that bit of a code, the vulnerable, you can just take the snapshot of that code, put it on an AI tool, and you get, I don't know if you get me, more description of what the
Yeah.
vulnerability is talking about, but you are not the one that would fix it. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
for
So
application
my
security.
yeah.
But for
Okay.
an
Yeah.
entry level, even for that's like having the understanding, but coming in, GRC, security engineer, security analyst, it's not a mandatory requirement.
Mm, mm. Okay. So my next question is that for this internship program, is the objective just to train people that are looking for jobs, or does the internship program also allow them to be consultants who can get jobs, execute those jobs, or even
Yeah.
set up a consulting company? So I
Yeah.
just need you to shed more light on that. That can cybersecurity graduates from
Mhm.
this internship program, can they
Mhm.
operate as independent consultants and
Yeah.
consult for any organizations around the world?
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, that's why we design our program in such a way that if you notice, during our program, we don't talk so much about virtualized environments like
Mm,
TryAcme. You'll see that I've not
mhm,
mentioned
yeah,
TryAcme, I've not
yeah,
mentioned
ask the box.
Xbox. The
Yeah.
reason is that those platforms are good for you to start, but you cannot be a consultant learning those platforms. Why? Because those tools are already
Mm.
created. You are just logging in, they give you some questions, you start checking out to answer them, more like you
Mm.
capture the flag. But if you look at our solution, can you see that all these solutions are things that you would deploy yourself? In
Yeah.
fact, the slide I was showing you earlier, you see that our students already, when I asked him during his presentation, are you the owner of this company? He said that's what he wants to register. So you can see, do you see the name of
Mm.
his company there? He already has the
Yeah.
mindset of a consultant, and that's how we
Mm.
build our
Yeah.
student, right? He
Mm.
knows that when he's done with this program, he's going to gather all this skill set, and look for opportunity from small, medium firm and see how we can solve a problem. So that's why all our
Mm.
curriculum involves deployment, troubleshooting, and presentation. You need to know how the end-to-end works of all these solutions. You see,
Mm.
the architecture,
Mm.
because you can't be a consultant when you don't know the nitty-gritty, the back end. And that's why
Mm.
all of our solution, we try to understand the back end, then how to present it. The reason why we are doing the
Mm.
presentation, and I want to see how you talk, is that, is this how you're going to
Mm.
present it to a potential client? I'm going to ask you those questions. So we actually help our students grow from that point where you learn the tool, you understand the concept, you deploy it, you know the motivation, the business value of that tool, and you can show it to anybody.
Mm. Okay, so I just want to add to what you've said that while many people are trained to a workplace and use
Mhm.
the existing solution, the way we train our students, especially in this internship program, is that you can get an organization that doesn't have a cybersecurity system, a
Yeah.
cybersecurity architecture. Like they've never done anything on cybersecurity. And
Yes.
based on this training, you can set up a cybersecurity architecture from them from the scratch.
Yes. Yes.
That's the point we are trying to make. I mean, from the very scratch, like they don't, even if they don't have any, the only thing they just have in the organization is just laptops and desktop and
Yes. Yes.
network. That's all. Based on
Yes.
this training, you can set up a cybersecurity department for that organization from the very
Yes.
scratch. So we don't just train you to, look out for jobs and apply for jobs, but the training is so detailed that you can be a consultant because you have everything that it takes to be
Mhm.
a consultant. It seems you want to show us something before
Yeah,
we
yeah. So
wrap it up.
you
Yeah.
are talking about strategy, and that's why I
Yes.
was saying that's why we're starting with strategy, and our
Yeah.
strategy aligns with standard from Microsoft. You would see things
Mm.
like this. We
Mm.
show you architectural, what's it called, secure enterprise architecture. We do
Yeah.
discussion on how do you develop or design a blueprint. That, like you
Mm.
said, when you have a business that doesn't have, and that's how you would know if you're really good, right? Can you be called
Mm.
into an organization and to create a baseline, a security program that is compliant for that business to scale? That's something you need to ask yourself. So we spent, like, in the last 2 weeks when we started looking at architecture. How do you design one? How do you start? What are the things you prioritize? You have the CISO mindset. So you're not just doing
Mm.
something because it's a security stuff. You are doing it because it's aligned with business, what's it called, requirement. And you can get
Mm.
the business to support you.
Mm.
So how do you balance security and business? That's where we
Yeah.
start from before we even go into the tools. So we are not just coming here to teach you tools. We are looking at how do you help design a blueprint. And you can see that this architecture does not even just talk about endpoint. It's even go
Mm.
into the cloud. You can see we
Yes.
went to cloud discussions, look at
Yes.
AWS, DevSecOps to look at just not just what's it called on the high level, but we look
Mm.
at across the major things like application, network,
Mm.
and security is about people, process, and technology. So how do you look at a secure enterprise architecture from those angles?
Yeah. So thank you very much, Nelson. Right. I wish we could go on and on, but we have many of our students who are waiting for us, who want to share their experience with digital. So I will reclaim the host. Then
All
I'll
right.
be bringing on Chinedu Ude to the program. Yes. So yeah. So Mr. Chinedu, you're welcome to this session tonight. Our digital alumni. So I've sent you the. Okay, he has joined us. So we have Mr. Chinedu Ude here with us to share his digital journey. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. How's work today?
Fine, sir. I'm good, sir.
Okay. Can we please see your face?
Okay. Uh, okay, I don't know if you can see my face now.
Okay, that's fine. So,
Okay.
you're welcome. Thanks for coming around tonight. I just want you to introduce yourself to us and how you got to know about digital. Then I can ask other questions. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I joined the webinar from the beginning. Please hope you can hear me, please.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay. So I joined the webinar from the beginning, and I'm like, wow, a lot of, especially Mr. Nelson's part. I said to myself, a lot of updates has been made, and it's as if I should just enroll again because, when I enrolled was 2023. And it was more or less as if I need to go into this training again because, see, one thing I need to tell you is in the cyber world, you need to keep updated, always following up to know what are the new things out there and all of that. So once again, my name is Chinedude. And before digital, I am a fitness professional, a licensed fitness professional, internationally to be recognized. And I work with, for those who are in Nigeria, I work with one of the leading fitness company across West Africa, which is iFitness, and I'm one of their coaches on the island. So before now, I've always had this mindset of, everybody wants to go into the cyber world. Everybody wants to go into the cyber world. Everybody wants to do something related to tech. So that niche was already in there for me. And I was hungry for it, looking for where to start. Because if you go online, you will notice that there is a lot of, when you just Google, maybe probably in the area of the cybersecurity, if you Google, you will see uh, a lot of complaints, a lot of consultant complaints who are ready to take you through. But the best thing is getting the right complaint that would not just teach you, but at the same time hold you by your hand, mentor you along the line, even though when you get jobs, ability whereby you can still assess them, you can still call them, okay, this is the job I just got. I have an interview coming up, please put me through and all of that. And they will still guide you all the way through. Not just guiding you all the way through after getting the job, but at the same time, while you are working, because you are a newbie in this, after the training, you still need practical and the ability to know how in the field. So they will still hold you by your hand, and even without your company noticing, you have people at the back end where you relate to, okay, this is the job, this is the task I've been given, I need help with this, I need help with this, and they will be putting you through every steps, precept by precept. But your company will see you as the wizard, but they don't know that you are also still learning at the long run. So this that was how I came across digital. Just like what Mr. Yomi said, I did a lot of research. I did a lot of Google search to know what is this company all about. At first, I decided to just like what you are doing today, I decided to just go through the webinar to see, is it not just same complaints, what they do and all of that, but let me listen. And after going through the webinar, and they also shared their curriculum, I said, no, this is exactly what I need. I don't just want a situation whereby I will go through the training, and after the training, that's it. I want to also go through the practical aspect. I want a situation whereby I can be able to assess the facilitators. They can put me through on anything that I need and all of that. So that was how it started. The
So
second
my
part
first
is,
question, okay,
okay.
continue. Yeah, continue.
Okay. The second part is the area of the finance. You know, we are in the world where you
No,
can
you might
assess
not need
finance.
to talk about that. It might not
Okay,
be
okay,
necessary.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
might not be necessary. Yeah. So let's just, because of our time, right? So the very next question I want to ask is, so how did you get your first job after the training?
Okay, after the training, because part of
Yeah.
what I was able to do the mentorship,
Yeah.
the Zoom, reviving, LinkedIn, trying to tell you to be visible out there. Because see, after the training, you need to be visible for you to be even able to get a job. You need to be visible. So Mr. Nelson was able to put us through the LinkedIn reviving, how to put your CVs and all of that. Then at the same time, know that this is cyber world. Companies are looking for, do you know how to, not just the certifications, not just the write-up on your LinkedIn. What can you do? See, cybersecurity field, just like Mr. Nelson has said, just like Mr. Yomi have said, you don't need a degree to go into it. But companies are also noticing that, yes, you don't need a degree, but they want to know, do you know how to? Do you have the technical know-how in this field? Because cybersecurity field is, you have to know the technical know-how and all of that. So part of what we were able to do was to get certified through ISQ. I
Yeah.
enrolled, I was able to go through. Please, you will fail. Your first attempt, you might fail. Don't stop. Continue. You understand? So that was what propelled me. My first attempt was, it wasn't it at all, but at the same time, I tried again, and that was how I was able to scale through. So apart from that, I was able to enroll with the Resume reviving, with the LinkedIn
Yeah.
reviving. I was able to enroll for internships. Now I started enrolling for internships in Indians. Due to my research, I get to notice that when it comes to cyber world, when it comes to anything tech, the Indians have it. We always give it to them. So I started making. See, you will do a lot of research. I can as well tell you how many of us started this training. So many people dropped along the line. But the question you need to ask yourself is, what do you actually want in this? You understand? And I stayed true. There are times I will not sleep, especially during the technical aspect. There are assignments, there are a lot of assignments from Mr. Nelson, from this research and all of that. I was all there, staying true at night, doing my research, doing my work and all of that. It takes a lot of job. So that was it was through my internship, I started doing
Okay.
real-time jobs, because they will give us a project, and then from the
Yes.
project, we have to do some research, see how this thing is done and all of that. And to cut the story short, I was able to, because when I applied for one of the internships, and out of about 4,000 candidates all over the world,
Wow.
I came second in Nigeria, just two of us scale through in
Wow.
Nigeria, because after the internships, they will post your results, they will post your certification, and there is a recommendation also from the company. So which shows at the end of the day, if you're able to being employed in any company and they need a recommendation from where you fall before, the Indian companies are also ready to give you, but provided that you scale through among the best, that is when they will give you the recommendation. So out of the top 10, just two of us scale through in Nigeria, others were Indians. And this propelled me. My first attempt, I was like, wow, I can do this and all of that. I shared my results on LinkedIn, and that was just the starting point. And I started getting offers from internships. I started going deeper and all of that. So that's how I started. That's how I started.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So the other thing I want to say is that um, on the job, so you eventually got the job with the consulting company. So what support have you been getting from digital, even after you got the job, even after you finish your training a long time ago. So I just want you to talk about this because many students are always afraid that after they finish their training, the organization just throws them out. So I want you to explain how it has been with you and digital as regards support on the job. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Just like what I said before starting,
Mm,
digital is one of the complaint that after the class, they are still
mm.
accessible. And I want to say, I don't know if he's listening to me. I want to say, oh, thanks to Mr. Nelson. He's always there. He's
Yeah, I
always
see.
there.
Yeah.
His number
Yeah.
is always, even if he's at work, sometimes I even have to call him in the afternoon when I know he's at work and all of that. He's always accessible. And I can remember, I don't know if you remember,
Mm,
there was a time immediately after my internships, I got a job as a penetration tester. I don't know anything about penetration testing. I called him, I said, I just got a job, interview online. Digital, we put you through on how to go through the interview. See, most companies now don't do walk-in interview where you have to walk in physically and then you do the interview. Some of
mm,
them now are online. And one of the things that really shows that you are even a tech person is, can you do this? Let's see how you can, connect to us online and all of that. So I called him and I told him, please, I was shaking. So I said, I have interview with a tech complaint, and they want me to come in as a penetration tester. I know nothing about this. Please, can you put me? He said, okay, no problem. He ran me through the processes, the type of questions they will ask, and all of that. I said, okay, fine. And I was able to study what he said I should study. And at the end of
mm,
the day, I went into the interview. I scaled through the first stage. These are interviews that was the first time I was able to do interview of first stage, second stage, and third stage with the directors, with the board of
wow.
directors. So I did the first stage. I communicated back to him. I said, I've done. They said they are rescheduling it for another stage. He was able to guide me through it. And then the second stage, I was able to do it again. I scaled through. I told him again. He said, okay, nice one. Then before the board of directors, the only thing that just, made me not to get the job because I scaled through well. The only thing that made me not to get the job was as a result of they were still contemplating about money and they want me to come in as a consultant because this is also a consultant company. So you only come in when they have a job to execute. So it was just the money aspect, and I have to keep on pushing in my area. But with the interview, I was able to say, wow, this is good. So everything will hold you by your hand, put you through. And recently, I got the offer, and which we shared with Mr. Yomi and
Yeah.
Mr. Nelson. So
Yeah.
one thing about this is I want you to also prepare your mind from the angle of there is no knowledge that's a waste. So while you are going into this, put on all your efforts. You can't tell who you will eventually come across. So I told you earlier that I work also as a fitness coach. So there's somebody who I was training who I never even knew that he was is the what's it called, a partner, one of the partners in Deloitte.
Wow.
And I've been training him, and I met another woman through him again, who is the director in charge of cybersecurity in Deloitte. And I didn't know, I was just these are the people that I just trained physically on fitness. So it was when I was checking one of the seminars that was held in Eco Hotel about cybersecurity. I saw them both. I reached out to them. I said, I just saw your pictures. I sent it to them, and they were like, this is what they do, and all of that. I have to quickly use the opportunity to introduce myself, and all of that. They said, wow, this is great. This is where we work. Do you mind coming in, and all of that? I said, I don't mind. And that was how I got the offer as
Wow.
a trainer and awareness creator in
Yeah.
iFitness under Deloitte. You understand? And just to try me, they connected me. They said, okay, I have a offer with Deloitte where I'll be training all the staffs, fresh graduates, and all of that, which I quickly have to reach out again, even regardless of how many years. I have to still reach out to Mr. Nelson and tell Mr. Nelson that this is what is coming up. He was able to tell me, okay, this is how to go about it. See, I have been preparing my PowerPoint on cybersecurity. Where is the knowledge coming from? The knowledge is also coming from digital. Everything, every step along the way, all through the class, when during my own time, that was what I was able to put together. And I can tell myself, looking at the PowerPoint, I was telling myself that this is way big. This is extremely big. So that is one thing you get from Edital. They will never leave you stranded. They will never leave you stranded.
So, Mr. Chinedu, we appreciate your time. I think Mr. Daniels is on the line, so really appreciate and congrats on the offer. It's a very big one, and we hope to hear greater news from you whenever we catch up again. And we're always here to support you all the way. So thank you for coming around tonight. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So we are bringing on Mr. Daniels onto the session tonight. Mr. Daniels. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Okay, he's right here with us.
Hello,
Hey.
good evening, sir.
Good evening. How you doing?
All right, so good to see my boss face again. Though I think
Good
the
to
last time
hear
was
from you.
2023 doing my onboarding to the boot camp and also the onboarding to the internship. And also when you gave me the opportunity to do the cybersecurity awareness in 2023 for Legalese and the telecommunication company. And also when you gave me the opportunity to be the assistant tutor. So, thank you once again. My name is Chukwuebuka Daniel Ebo, known as Buki Daniels. So happy to see my god of the industries here, Pastor Yomi and Nelson. So I have a background in chemical engineering. When it all started, I can still read, but no time for that. I still have my curious messages when I first started enrolling for the boot camp. Before communicating to Digital, I spoke to 4 different companies about the cybersecurity. But what stood out was one particular question I asked and how you were able to narrow it down. I started off, I don't even know, there's technical, there is a GRC, but you broke it down and also added the career coaching, and that piqued my interest. I enrolled. During my internship, I was able to my boot camp before internship, because HTAG gave me boot camp and gave me internship and gave me also opportunity to show what I have learned. Then starting from the boot camp, I enrolled. I had the opportunity to meet my first tutor, Mr. Adewale Mustafa, on the technical, Oluwabamise on the GRC, Nelson on the technical. I never knew I would still have the opportunity to be on internship where I met Mr. Nelson that gave us intense, wow, I don't know how to say it, but I will get there. So, yes, and being with Hejita, I learned a lot starting from the foundation. I keep telling people that if you miss the foundation, you will get lost. Currently, I have a job. I've shared the good news with Nelson. Currently, even before that, when I started with Adewale, it was overwhelming. But HTAG created a resource that no matter who you are, no matter your background, you will find your niche. Now, during my bootcamp, I was able to know about ISC Square, and I was encouraged. The first exam I did under HDA was the information that was shared by my tutor Adewale to take a Splunk exam, because one thing with HDA is the tutors have access to upper resources that the people that are beginning may not have access to. So once they have, they will share. So it's actually a free coupon to take an exam in Splunk. That's the first. I actually failed. I was back then in Jos, one of the centers in Jos. Something happened. I failed. I felt like, what am I doing different? Man, the encouragement I got from the team, Mustafa encouraged me. I rescheduled. I still failed the Splunk, and I focused on the foundation with the ISC square. My first ISC square, I failed. So sometimes people talk about their success. They don't talk about their failure. I failed. And that failure made me to learn strongly foundation in cybersecurity under Hejita, that there's no one under my coach. You can bet me. If you work with me for a couple of months, you cannot fail ISC square exam. Courtesy of Hejita, courtesy of my failure, and courtesy of the encouragement I got. Right. Now, the opportunity Pastor Yemi gave me through success and through Mustafa, was to coach the next boot camp. I think we are the first set.
mm,
Now,
mm,
it gave me the ability to understand troubleshooting.
mm,
It's a hyper
mm,
skill. Nelson will always tell you it's a hyper skill. If you don't understand troubleshooting,
mm,
you might have issues. Now, being an assistant tutor, it actually came up with a volunteer. By the end of the day, HTI gave me my first payment
mm,
in the industry, and I'm forever grateful to that. But I volunteered to just put myself there. Students will come with this.
mm,
It's not about teaching how to download, it's about the installation, the fundamental, the Kali Linux, the Windows Server, and all that. So let me cut the story short. So the opportunity they gave me to become the assistant tutor gave me the ability to understand troubleshooting. And that's a good mark,
mm,
that it has helped me that the students that are under my own training now, I'm using that skill to, even if you wake me up, I can say, yes, I can do this. Then after my
mm,
program with the boot camp, I met a lot of people, great minds, tutors, lifeline access to resources that whatever I need today, I can pull it up. I can just go to the resource center and put up or ask
mm,
questions. There must be someone there to answer me as long as cybersecurity is involved. Now, after that, I enrolled on the first internship where we
mm,
had one-on-one with the great mind, Nelson. God bless you. When
mm,
it all started, it was like, can I be able to do this? Imposter syndrome, a lot of commitment. Now, the
mm,
internship did not just reveal me about the theory, I laid my hands on those tools, because I noticed that in the industry there's enterprise solution and there are open source solutions. But sometimes if you're a
mm,
beginner, it gets overwhelming to have access to the bigger solutions. But Nelson helped us to understand that you can lay your hands on open source solution that can give you the preamble foundation that when you find yourself on that bigger enterprise, it won't get lost. I've done patch management. I wish I can share my screen. I can mention a whole lot of programs I did during my internship. I laid my hands on HubSpot, on EDR, Meta Defender. I did.
Your voice has gone down.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
It's better now. Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
I did a lot of projects during my internship. I did a lot of projects on Let's Defend, because from the curriculum of the internship,
Mm,
it's more about laying your hands and deploying open source security solutions, alerting and monitoring. And those internship curriculum were structured to align with tools. Just like you mentioned,
mm,
sometimes you need to find your niche. If you find your niche, be perfect, develop, become an expert, and start knowing how to use that to solve a problem. We laid our hands on Capstone project when he was talking about the asset inventory and deploying of security solution during the internship. I personally deployed Wazo. It's not about deploying Wazo, it's one of the same solutions. Configuring it, the basic configurations. I laid my hands on EDR, endpoint detection and response, like OpSWAT. I laid my hands on phishing analysis from the blue team, asset inventory. I laid my hands on NAS sweeper, a whole lot of them. I can go on web application firewalls. I laid my hands on SaveLine, courtesy of Nelson, right? It's not about that. We did it. I did the project. I
mm,
presented it. And he made mention of something that has helped me today. If you don't do it, you don't know it.
mm,
It's not
mm,
about doing it and knowing it. It must show us. He will always say, okay, okay, guide us through how you did this. It's more of like a joke, but it's what has helped me to be able to secure the opportunity I secured today. Courtesy of HTAR, courtesy of
yeah.
Net.
Can you just tell us how you got this job, right?
All right,
So
all right,
let's go there. Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. Okay, if you visit my LinkedIn, Chukwuebuka Daniel Ebo, I always
Mm,
put up anything I do there.
mm,
I actually had to learn the optimization, ask people that can help me, because these things are shared responsibility. That you know how to do this doesn't mean you know how to put yourself out there. Someone how to guide you. So one of my friends that he manages a tech company, the owner is in US. I got a notification. This guy visited my LinkedIn. After 1 week, he reached out. Hi, Picky Daniels. I see you're still in cybersecurity. Ah, yeah, and you have upgraded tech. Please, can you have a time for me to? I say yes, we schedule. He said their tech company, Learn you can check it out. That they don't have an option for cybersecurity. Can I come in? I had skipped. Wow, where am I going to start? Am I enough? Can I do this? Can I do that? I'm telling you, real life experience. And I went back from the first opportunity you gave me with, I know you must have forgotten, you gave me an opportunity to do a cybersecurity awareness with Legalist company and a telecommunication company. Just the awareness. And also, I went back to how nursing used to tell us, teach, show. I said, okay, I can do this. I accepted. They interviewed me. They were going through my LinkedIn. They saw what I did. They said they were impressed. Then how can I come in? I'm like, how am I going to do this? This is a tech company. They are bringing in cybersecurity. This is me trying to structure. And I said, okay, you pass through digital. You understand the GRC, the technical, the career coach. Built around this. That was how I picked up a curriculum. And I said, these people that are coming into this tech company, they don't understand anything. And if they work with me for the period I'm going to do the training, they can't stand and pass the ISC square. What is really giving me this morale and this confidence? I passed through Hegita. I used their structure to draft a curriculum for the period of the program. And it's actually a good pay, 2 times in a week, working from home, right? So I am most grateful. It's not all that easy. I put in the work. I failed. I questioned myself. I asked myself, was I doing anything different? But there's always this energy I grab whenever I am done listening to career coach. Sometimes I sneak in into the career coach when I feel like I'm losing it all. But each and each and every career session is like when you come and you grab strength. The next day you are confident enough.
And you're fired up.
And you're
Yeah.
fired up.
Yeah.
So I am most grateful. Even on my LinkedIn, I
Yeah.
still have digital there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thank God for this opportunity and I'm most grateful. And thank God bless you, Yomi,
Yeah.
Nelson,
Yeah.
Hegital. You guys are
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Because of our time, would have loved to have you here, but thanks for coming around tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate, right? So, and wishing you greater exploits from
Yes,
US
sir.
company to other
Yes.
US companies and even UK companies. So do have a
Yes.
wonderful night rest.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, people will be having the last testimonial tonight, Mayowa. But before then, just to give you all the vital information, the information will still be shared on the group. But as you all know, we have a 5 months training. So here's how it works. We have a 5 months training program. Classes. So here's how it works for those of you. So that's the first thing. Classes holds Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. UK time. Career coaching holds Saturdays. At the career coaching, so when you hear them talking, that's CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization. Sorry, I'm typing fast. LinkedIn optimization, interview prep. So career coaching doesn't end. It doesn't end even after your training ends. Portfolio of projects, certifications, communities to join, freelancing, mastery, cybersecurity consulting. Just endless. It goes on and on and on and on, right? So, but after the program, there's still internship, like we've always said. So internship is 6 months. Internship, but you don't need internship to get a job. There are many of our students who have gotten jobs even without internship. right? So that is very important. Then the program is starting on Monday, which is August 4. That's August 4. The registration closes next week, Saturday. Next week, Saturday, which is August 2nd. The program is discounted, so it's just 350 British pounds. This is one-time payment, or 700,000 in Naira. If you are doing Naira, that's 700,000 in Naira. So for payment and everything, details will be shared on the group. If you are doing instrumental, it is 250 GBP and 200 GBP for instrumental payment. Right. So, like I said, registration closes next week, Saturday. Classes start by Monday. Right. So, for inquiries, for those of you who have inquiries, if you have inquiries, you can chat up this number. Let me send you this number for inquiries. Chat up this number to get more information about digital consulting. So this is an highly discounted training. It's a promo training, and I expect you to take advantage of it. While registration closes next week, Saturday, then training will start upper week, upper Monday. Right. So further information will be shared on the group for those who need information. So I think we have Mayowa right now. Okay, yeah, we have Mayowa here. Thank you, Mayowa. So Mayowa will be the last person here because of our time, and he will share his digital journey with us. His digital journey. Many have been saying they are old students. Mayowa is pretty new, and he will share with us what his experience has been like. Good evening, sir. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Mayowa.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. I'm very fine. How are you as well?
I'm good. Thanks for coming around. Do you mind if
You're
you see your
welcome.
face, even if it's briefly?
Okay, I'm trying to. Okay, can you see me very well?
I think I can. I can.
Okay.
So please introduce yourself to us, how you got to know about Digital and how the program was and how
Okay.
things you have done since you completed your program. Over to you, sir.
All right, sir. My name is Mayowa once again. So I enrolled for the February cohort. So we are actually done with the technical classes, but the non-technical is still ongoing. So I actually got to know about digital through social media handles, to be specific, Instagram. So from time to time, I followed your webinar, the one that you've been doing and all that. So I actually got convinced that this is actually the right path for me. So I'm an IT support. I work as an IT support with my uncle owns an IT firm, so we both work together. So ever since I joined digital, everything has been good. Especially, I give credit to our tutor, Mr. Emmanuel Isatoye. He did a marvelous job, a good job. So he always carries everybody along, so no one is being left out. So everything has been very, very good, very smoothly. The program, the coaching, the lectures has been very, very remarkable and very good. So another thing I must say is, okay, I must comment, okay, like for so far so good. I actually got an internship, cybersecurity
Okay.
internship job role with a foreign tech company. I think the company is situated in the UK. So in fact, ever since I've started this internship, everything has been going on smoothly. All the things that we've been taught in the classes are, in fact, I just put it in practice. So everything has been going on very smoothly. I'm actually enjoying the internship role. So everything has been going on. So I want to use this medium to tell people that digital consulting is one of the best. It's one of the best. If you actually want to get a training based on your tech background, is actually one of the best. I can beat my chest and vouch for them any day, anytime. They're actually doing a great job, a good job, I must say.
And so before we go, can you just share with us how you got that internship and your training with Digital? How helpful was it in getting the internship with the UK company?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the
So
link,
just share with us the journey.
okay, the link was actually shared via, I think maybe one person. We actually have our own cohort actually has a special platform. So I think the link was shared there. So I read about it and I submitted my CV. And maybe in like a 1 or 2 weeks time, they actually got back to me. So in fact, the task I was given was actually based on what we've done in the classes. It has to do with understanding networking basics and testing the vulnerable website and all that. So I think I'll soon, if the internship actually, I think the last date is should be like August, yeah, August 6th. So I'm nearly done. So everything has been very, very good. Very, very good. Everything is going on well.
Okay, so thank you very much, Maya. Like you've said it all, right? How the training has been and the internship that you've gotten with the organization, and I'll just advise that you keep working out there because we've had some of our students who have been retained at the company they did the internship with. So it's very possible, and at times organizations just do internship to test you, right, for that period. How many months is the internship going to be?
It's just a month, just a month.
Okay. So just put in the best there. So thank you.
Thank you very
Do have
much.
a wonderful time. I appreciate your time tonight.
You're
Bye
welcome.
for now.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah. So thank you, people. Someone is asking the number. You can WhatsApp the number. I would I'll share the number again. Let me just share my slide, my outline again. So you can WhatsApp the number. All right there. So this is the number to WhatsApp. So just send a WhatsApp to that number and you will get your responses. Like I said, training starts Monday, August 4th, but registration closes next week, Saturday, which is August 2nd. So look forward to having you in the class. And if you have questions or inquiries, you can always WhatsApp this number. The replay of this session will be shared on the WhatsApp group for your viewing. You have a wonderful time. See you all in the class. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.